With 4 million sounds, what will you create? Take the free trial today.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Superbooth Home Edition video. We're moving across the Atlantic back over to Are you in Los Angeles, Ed? I'm making an assumption there. Maybe I'm not. Are you in LA?
No, I'm not in Los Angeles. I'm in Texas, in a town between San Antonio and Austin. So I'm in the hill country of Texas.
Ah, okay. Well, there we go. We're moving over to Texas in the USA, where we're talking to brilliant Edd Diaz from Roland. And Ed's got a really fancy pants video switching setup. Give us a spin, Ed. Go on.
Yeah, so I had my front camera here. I have a camera just on the screen. I have a camera on the top overhead cup. I have another camera if I wanted to show stuff on the MacBook, and then I can also go ahead and do picture-in-picture there. Or if I want to, I can go ahead and show this, and I can just pop in there. So yeah, very, very fancy pants. Absolutely, I love it.
And that's all that. This is the Roland VR mixers, which are I've experienced them through this, but that's not why we're here, really, is it? We're here because Ed's kind of a sort of Fantom expert and he's putting a lot of content up on YouTube. But there's also some new developments for the Roland called the Roland Cloud Academy, right?
Roland Cloud is something we rolled out in 2017, and we started it by training DJs. And what it is it's online classes that our users can sign up for, and the classes can range anywhere from 90 minutes to up to 2 hours. And what it is we can train our users from beginner level, intermediate, and advanced levels, and it's totally free. And as I mentioned, it did start off with the DJ stuff, but we are now expanding it more into the keyboard. So we're going to start offering classes on Fantom and then also future Roland synth products. So that's pretty cool. So
they're like, are they like, because I mean, normally, or you would have been going into stores and doing it to kind of people who book up in advance. So this is kind of the online equivalent, which, given where we are now, makes a lot of sense, right?
All of our users, when they buy a synthesizer or a Roland product, they can actually interact with Roland product specialists such as myself and my others colleagues there. Whereas sometimes in a store, you might get lucky and catch one of us when we're visiting stores, but there's so many stores. This way we can have an appointment time and meet with a group. I think we're going to do a group between 10 to 15 at a time, people. So not super huge, so we have a live, as we're doing here, a live aspect. We can switch, show you things, interact with them through chat, and I think actually through video. So it's something cool that I'm really excited about, that to offer this in the future to our users. So, I can't wait to get that. And that is for free, and it is starting now. You can sign up at, you can go to the link. I think we'll send you the link, and you can put it up there so everybody can see, to sign up for the Roland Cloud Academy.
Right, and it's, I guess the thing is obviously Fantom. There's the latest Fantom came out, I think, was it September last year?
About September.
I think we shot something over in London for that. So you've got I'm guessing you've got the big boy there, right? Have you got the kind of 88? No,
I'm as a keyboard player, I prefer the 76 myself, but as far as for everybody watching, the functionality between the 61, the 76, and the 88, there is no difference. The actual engine is exactly the same. This is just a personal preference of mine. I enjoy 76, a little bit extra on that side, without the added weight of 88. That's just my personal kind of feeling on that.
But it can do, it's the sort of classic, well, it's not the classic, it's like a super workstation, essentially. How would you describe, let's just go basics. So the basic sort of Fantom is...
Some of the basics of the Fantom. The Fantom is absolutely, it's a killer workstation, but it's also a killer for live performance. The Fantom has a lot of things, and I'll show you the overhead over here. Of course, we have the color touchscreen right here. We have all the different control knobs and sliders. We have assignable wheels. We have more control here. We have a sequencer. We have a sampler. We have more real-time controls with oscillator filter in here, analog filter as well, a lot of envelopes, and then also the Fantom can also, look, I'm going to get fancy pants on you. The Fantom can also work as an audio MIDI interface into your laptop. And that being said, we also have the ability to come into here and hit DAW control. So if I'm hooked up into Apple Logic or Apple MainStage, I can actually control parameters of those softwares right in here. And then there's so much more that I have multiple outputs, balanced outputs. I have 2 stereo sub outs right here, analog filter outs. There's just a lot that we can offer in this machine. So I'll hold on, but I just get so excited just because of all the options that our customers get immediately right from the unit.
And so I get sorry. So in terms of voice count, I mean, you've got a bunch of polyphony in there, so you can build some quite complex arrangements and whatnot. So you've got sample tracks and kind of synth tracks. How does that break down?
Okay, so how it works is the Fantom is what we call modeless. On the older Rolands, we used to have like a patch mode and a performance mode or a live mode or a studio mode or single mode. Everything in the Fantom is seamless. So if we take a look at the Fantom again on the top, I'll put it right through here and see the screen. Everything is what we call in a scene. Everything is in a scene. So if I want to just pick regular sounds, I can just go ahead and just play regular sounds. If I want to go ahead and do a layer and a split, I can also access it from here as well. Just by, let me go show you guys. I can also access it from here, and just by turning on the different parts, the different zones within the scene. And there are actually 16 different zones in here. If I wanted to go ahead and do a song, also from the same mode, scene, I can just go ahead and just hit it in here, and I can already start accessing my sequencer right in there. So everything is from the same section, be it playing single tones, layers and splits, and then also if I want to go ahead and do a song, I can do it all from the same spot, essentially. So there's no like in previous workstations where you had to think, am I in live mode or studio mode and all this? It's modeless all through scenes. So it makes it really a joy for me to kind of work on it that way. I can just jump around at any time and I'm still in the same mode.
It makes sense as well, because I mean, because for in the studio you're working in a certain way, and then for live you make work in another way. But that way it's a common fact. It's got the Zen Core, hasn't it? It's the Zen Core synth engine, which is the new thing that you've rolled out across a number of hardware platforms, right?
So the Zen Core combines virtual analog and PCM synthesis in the same spot. So we get a lot of functionality in there. And then also, don't forget, this the Fantom also has the V Piano engine in as well. So you have V Piano in here. You have Zen Core, it combines virtual analog and PCM synthesis. You also have the ability to download EXZ expansion boards from the Axial site. And currently, right now, we have 15 titles. And when you download for free those 15 titles from axial.roland.com, you get total tones within the Fantom is over 8,000 tones. 8,000 tones right out of the box.
Keep you going. Keep you going. Ed, can I ask you? I know you're a great player. Have you got a fancy V piano patch? Because I know it can sound pretty good. I'd just love to hear some piano on that, if that's all right.
Let's go ahead and pull that up. Let's see. I'll just go into one of the single tone modes, just the single tone in a scene, and I'll just pull one up. I have a piano that I really enjoy, and let me go into here. Go to page 1. Oh, and one thing about this is also cool. I'll show you this real quick before I do that, is you can actually come into here and you can rate your sound. So if I like this piano and I like to use it, I can rate it by 1, 2, or 3. And then when I'm ready, I can press start, and it brings up all of my favorite tones.
Yeah. With 8,000 tones, you need that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can kind of think of this as a favorites if you wanted to, but this is a way where I can just go in here and just find the ones that I tend to lean towards. And the main V piano that I lean towards is this East Coast studio piano. I just love the sound. Let's see if I can pull it off. So like.
sounds lovely. Is that has the V piano thing evolved? Because I remember when we first saw the V piano, I mean, it must be kind of 10, 15 years ago. So have the algorithms and the sounds and the finesse of the V piano engine, have they evolved over time? Because it sounds better than I remember when I first heard it.
Yeah, it's well, of course, it's been I think over 10 years on that one. So we have evolved. But I'm playing right now through a synth action, and for me, the V piano, it sounds great on the synth action, and we have our own synth actions in the 61 and the 76. But when you play the PHA 50 action that's inside the Fantom 8, the 88, it really helps you bring out all those subtle nuances of the V piano, And then don't forget, we can go into the V piano here, and if we wanted to, we could go in here and we can edit different aspects of the V piano. So that's one thing that I really love about the V piano, that we can go in and adjust our individual note tuning, the different levels, the character of it, go into the piano designer, adjust the resonance. So there's a lot of options we can do to make that V piano your own custom V piano.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I love most about it. But
can you still do that thing when you can create a piano that's physically almost impossible to make, like the 30-foot grand? I remember they were saying that you could change things sort of beyond what was physically possible with pianos. Can you still do that
on this one? I think that was called. I can't remember what that was called.
I'm putting you on the spot.
No, well, I'm trying to remember, because that was pretty cool. It was like making the V piano out of different things. One thing I always do with the V pianos in a lot of my demos is I'll go in here and I'll adjust the individual tuning of a note. So my example is, I always say, you have that one piano you grew up with, and say like the A flat key was just really bad out of tune. So I can take that one note, that A flat, like a flat 4 or A flat 3, and just make it horribly out of tune, just to kind of show that how much control that we have in there. Or in the back of my head, I'm trying to no, they weren't called avant-garde. Anyway, those other pianos. But yeah, you can actually go into here and let me see if I can do this real quick. I always thought this was kind of neat, how we can come into here and maybe into the tuning, and I could say, you know what? I can take that A flat, and you could see me raising it up real quick.
Right.
And
so you can make it, yeah, exaggerated example.
It's an extreme example, obviously, I get that, but that lets me demonstrate that if you're a big-time piano connoisseur and you're so picky about the tuning, like a piano tuner, you're so picky about the tuning characteristics of the piano, you can actually get in there and make it your own. So I know one thing I loved about the V pianos is that for historic pianos, you can actually recreate them. So all the different, so you can still do that here, and then of course save that as your own custom piano. Absolutely.
So just coming back to the Cloud Academy thing, so if you were doing a seminar now, would I be, as a participant, would I be able to interact with you and say, hey, Ed, can you show me that thing again? I mean, is it a two-way thing, or is it a...
Absolutely. No, it is a two-way thing, so, we could be discussing, hey, Jaden, hey, Nick, check this out. And this is what we're going to do right here, so I could show you, and then you could say, hey, Ed, show me this aspect, and I can actually go in there and do that. So, yes, now we are going to have it to where, like I said before, we have entry-level classes, and intermediate and advanced. So we'll put out the contents of what we're going to discuss in there. So, long story short, yes, you can interact in here. It's not a pre-canned session.
Yeah, it makes sense, because then people get what they need from it. So I know the other thing with the Fantom is you can create incredibly complex layered and detailed patches. I'm wondering, have you got anything like that prepared that you'd like to show off to us?
Well, let me go ahead and make some to just show you how fast this can be fun to make something real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll go ahead and put it to a split. All right. So I just started off with initial scene right here, and then I can go zone view, and this is great. I can do single, see 4 tones, see this, see up to all 16. So I'll just do 4 for now, and so I'll start off right here, and let's say we do a nice electric piano. I don't like that piano. I can let's go ahead and find one that I really enjoy, and I might use that phaser. nice phaser. Get that. Okay, I like that sound. Now I'll go to the next one, and I say, okay, great, let's use a string. And once again, I could go in here and pick something that I just enjoy using, and that one's fine. I'll go to a next section, and maybe so you see how fast we kind of go in here. We can actually go real fast.
Yeah. And of course, you can set those to be velocities and zoned or whatever as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if we wanted to, let me just turn them all on. So this quickly, 1, 2, 3. Now they're all on, and then now I can adjust. And then, as you were saying, we could actually go in deeper, and I could go pro down shift, hit it in here, and I can actually come into those different tones, adjust what outputs they go out of. Of course, we want to do pitch, so maybe on one of them, I could say, let's put that choir up an octave. Very quickly, and then I just write it in there so it always calls up at a scene in the scene level.
Yeah.
And then if I wanted to, once we get out there and we get back to our gigs, we can actually create what we call a scene chain. So I can go ahead and have different scenes in an order. And let me see, I think I have some examples here. Here's one that we were just kind of playing with. Let me get rid of this for you. Oh no, let me just have this up. This is cool. Let me see here. There we go. So great thing about this, I can take any scene. If I want to edit it, I can say select a scene, and I can say I want that scene right here. And then when I'm done and I've written it all in there, I can actually just touch the scenes on the screen, or even better, now my category lights become the scene. And so this is a very fast way. And, remember I said earlier that the Fantom was seamless? So this could be a single tone scene. This could be a multi-track, a multi-layer scene. I can have another scene where it's going to play back a song that I already have loaded, and I'm just going through the buttons, just right in there. And I can have up to 512 scenes per scene chain, so we can have them in any order that we want. So it makes it very powerful for live use. And I've already used it in a live situation. I've already used it in a live situation, and I've really enjoyed that aspect if I have to go ahead and rearrange my sounds depending on the set list. So
there's also a lot of we've got sequences, arpeggios, there's lots of kind of movement and that kind of side of things as well. Rather than just a pure keys player, a lot of people tend to use these workstations in sort of MD mode, don't they? So they might be the so I guess it works for that, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Another thing that I've always enjoyed about Fantoms and a lot of our synthesizers is that we can go ahead and control external MIDI devices as well. So say I'm the MD and I have my Fantom and I have other keyboards, no matter make or manufacturer, I can actually control them with external MIDI control. And the Fantom, as I change scenes, I can have different change sounds of my other keyboards. And so that's something I've really tried to. And it's an old thing, but I think a lot of us older players know about it, but a lot of the newer guys don't even know that with MIDI, that's so powerful. So you don't have to work so hard trying to adjust all your sounds in a live situation. You can have the Fantom, as you change scenes, change all of your external MIDI, and then also now with main stage, you can have the Fantom change your main stage patches with you. A little bit of programming, but I always tell people the first time you do it, it's kind of hard just because of the concept. But after you start seeing the sounds of your externals being over USB or being through hardware synthesizers, you see them changing, and you're just like, this is a game changer, total game changer.
Well, yeah, particularly for live, main stage is really handy for people who need to kind of run backing tracks or stems or trigger specific samples and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So I know that I forget it's the A88 Mark II or Mark III is 2.0, MIDI 2.0 ready. Is Fantom going to start showing some MIDI 2.0 leanings as well?
It's very possible that it probably will. One thing about Roland, we are very involved with our users through the different Facebook Facebook groups available right now, and we are listening to our users. So we're taking into account all the different things they're asking. I don't know for sure, but there's a very likely chance that the Fantom will get that as well. The Fantom is a growing platform. We keep on adding different functions. Like we just added we added where we can rate the scenes and search scenes and search tones, and we added the expandability of the 15 EXZ expansion boards where you can load all of them simultaneously and access them in any order that you want. So the Fantom is continuing to grow as a platform, and even during everything that's going on right now in the world, all of our engineers and product people are working right now across the globe to make it even better for everyone. So we are listening, we are watching, and we are interacting with all of our users throughout the world to make it the strongest instrument that we can.
So what is that? So the other thing that I was curious about is 16-part sequencer, 16-part MIDI. I mean, is that's it? So you can run 16 tracks at the same time. I just wanted to get that out there as well for specs. Yeah. Yes,
you can run. And you can run 16 zones or 16 parts, so 16 tracks of MIDI. But the other thing that's come about with this Fantom, if we integrate it with, say, like Apple Logic or actually any other DAW, the Fantom is a USB audio interface. Now, what makes this really special is that before we would only have one stereo track out. Okay, so we might have 16 parts, but we can only run one at a time. Now with this Fantom, I can make a sequence and have it filled up with all 16 sequencing parts, and I can go ahead and throw them all out via USB as 16 stereo audio files in real time, or audio tracks in real time. So I relate this because a lot of us that work with workstations for years, you'll come up with a great sequence, and then when it comes time to share it with the computer, it's really kind of a drag. You got to go out one by one, solo, solo. This way, I can just go ahead and have it lined up, whichever DAW that I prefer to use, just show the Fantom as the audio MIDI over USB, and I can export or actually play all those tracks through the USB as audio files. And then also, don't forget, I can also do that with MIDI. So I can go ahead and send out 16 stereo audio and then 16 MIDI tracks all simultaneously through USB from the Fantom. So for me, it's just like, that was something that was truly amazing, and it gets more amazing. We just showed it using Logic. We worked very strongly, very highly with Apple Logic and Apple MainStage, but then also we just demonstrated it a couple days ago using Ableton as well. So it works with any DAW that's out there. So 16 stereo audio tracks out there. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so just to recap, when's the Cloud Academy stuff happening? When does it start? I mean, people can sign up now. When the actual courses start?
Well, they can start signing up now. We're going to have a link there. You can just go to Roland and look up Roland Cloud Academy, and that is available. We're starting new Fantom courses. Actually, by the time this is shot, it is actually starting now. Starting now.
Okay.
We're offering the different DJ products. We're offering the MC products and DJ Cloud Academy, and we're also offering Fantom. And as time goes on and people get kind of used to this format and using it more often, we're going to add even more. And we are expanding this throughout the world, so you're going to see it through the different countries. So if you're an English-speaking country or German or some Spanish-speaking country, we hope to just continue this throughout the Roland World organization. So you'll be able to get help no matter where you are. So that's something that's I think is really incredible that we can do that, because I know a lot of us came up back in the day, pre-internet, where you just had to just dig in the manual,
no,
which I still recommend. Still recommend that, but it is nice that when you have those questions, you can kind of take these classes, because I think a lot of people, a lot of users only scratch the surface of what these massive instruments can do. So if we can get them to dig even deeper, and they're going to get more value out of the instrument and actually love it and create music, which is something we definitely need right now. Everybody to keep creating art and music at this time, and we're going to do our part at Roland to help all of our users do that through the Roland Cloud Academy.
Edd, thank you very much. That was awesome.
It's my pleasure always, Nick. It's always a pleasure to be on here with you. And, everybody stay safe, and please check out Roland Cloud Academy and the Roland Fantom.